L'chaim, l'chaim. Sama lecha nafshi, kama lecha v'sava, b'eretz tzliya v'yayeh b'li. Amen. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I came back in the Shazi, say, come be thy, Utskak of Idecha. Ay, 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 Chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim, l'brok. What did you go? Oh, man. Chaim, l'chaim. Before we start, there's a story of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov told his Talmidim, if they want to learn Midas Havei they should come with him. In the back of the wagon of the Baal Shem Tov. So they came in the back of the wagon of the Baal Shem Tov, and they came to a place. There was a kretschme, and there was the Yid saw there was and now he has the schutz of achnosas orchem. He saw he had the schutz. He was so excited. He was thrilled. He invited the Baal Shem Tov Talmidim to enter. He was thrilled. He had now the schutz of achnosas orchem, and he gave them a call to selot. And while they were eating and drinking, and the Farbrengen comes in a one of the parts' guards, and he bangs on the table, and that happens a second and third time. So the Baal Shem Tov says, "What is this?" He says, at the last date when you have to pay the porits, he sends his guard, and they bang on the table three times. They come three times. If you don't pay by sunset, they take you and your wife and throw them in the dungeon. Oh, so why don't you go pay him first so that we can finish? He said, I have to go pay him. I don't have the money. But you seem so calm. You're not looking for the money. He said, why should I look? I have betoch. The Eibishter will give me the money. Okay, no problem. No problem. When they finished eating, they benched, and they said, could we stay here tonight? He said, sure, we'll make beds for you, no problem. And he said, just if you don't mind, I need to go pay the porits. Oh, you need to pay the porits? And how are you going to pay him? I told you, I have betochim. The Eibishter is going to help. I can pay. The Eibishter will give. Okay. He goes out, and the Talmidim Baal Shem Tov with the Baal Shem Tov are standing. They're standing and they're looking and looking, and they see that the Yid is walking towards the palace of the porits. And again, he's good. He's walking with confidence. All of a sudden, they see there's a wagon coming the other direction. And they see that the Yid is talking to someone. And then the wagon goes away. And then the wagon goes back to the Yid. And again, they see there's a Asek, they're doing something. And then the Yid keeps on going, and the wagon comes to the Kretschmer. And a guy jumps off. They say, oh, hello. We saw you twice. You went, you come. What's the deal? He says, this guy, he makes the best vodka in the world. I had an idea. I figured I'll pay him in advance, and I'll buy all his vodka for the season. I want to buy it in advance. Why should the other people have the vodka? I get the vodka for myself. So I met him as I was going to come talk to him. I met him on the way. So I asked him what's the price, and he told me the price. I said it's very hard. He said that's the amount of money he needs right now. So I said, okay, no, if I pay in advance, I want to get a good deal. So the Yid said, have a nice day. I left, and I said to myself, what a fool I am. Just for a little amount of money, I'm going to lose the deal. This guy is not budging. So I went back and I asked him, we'll do the deal. He said, okay, but you have to give me cash right now. Otherwise, there's no deal. So I gave him the cash, and he said, okay, thank you, but you have to wait a little bit. You go to the Kretschmer, I'm going to the Poritz, I'm coming straight back, and then we'll sign a contract. They said, you trust me? Said, yeah, everyone knows this true. His word is gold. His word is gold. So it turns out they didn't want to negotiate because they knew how much money he needs. He knew how much money he needs. So the Abishta sent him this guy. What's the price? So like they say when you come for the matzah bakery, what's the price? The price is on you, not on the matzah. But the esrog, when you come in, what's the price? The price is I go to the guy with the esrog. He says, "How much did you pay last year?" Whatever's last year, 25 more. It's not looking at the esrog. He's looking at me. So the Yid looked at the goy and said, "Listen, this is how much money I need." The Hashem said this Talmidim, that is Midas Habitoch. The Rebbe says in Asich, Chov Eshvan Tov Shemem Hey. It was 125 years for the Yemaledis of the Rebbe Rasha. The Rebbe said there's a whole shaklatai in the Gemara, Yesh Beger Bekever, Ein Beger Bekever. But we know from the stories of the Baal Shem Tov that the Rebbeim said that the Baal Shem Tov said a Torah every year, his birthday. He said a Torah in the Gan Eden. Shmami no, that Akaponim Lagabe the Baal Shem Tov and his Talmidim, that there is such a thing as the Yom Maledis, and they celebrate it even after 120. And the Rebbe then spoke about this kapitel, 125. The Rebbe said like this: the Meforshim say that Shira Malas Haboitchim Hashem, those people that trust in the Eibishter is just like Haritzian, Lo Yimet Lo Elam Yeshuv, just like the Haritzian. You stand strong, you can't move Haritzian, and not only that, Yerushalayim Morim Sovev Lo Hashem Sovev Lo Yami, that there is mountains protecting Yerushalayim. So, and the Eibush is protecting Yerushalayim, Me'ata v'adolim, so that's a mashal. And the nimshal is that also the Yidden that trust in the Eibush there should know Ki lo yanuach shevet haresh al ger tzadikim, that the Eibush is not going to let the Roshoim to have a shevet, to have dominion, shevet malucha, Yosef shevet mi Yehuda machoikim be'raglav. Ki lo yanuach shevet haresh al ger tzadikim, that the Eibush is not going to let that the Roshoim should have dominion over the tzadikim. That in order for the tzaddikim not to have to get involved in avla. Why? Because if a yid is under the dominion of a rasha, so the poet says, Mayor Mamdanid gesagt. So the guys in the office, what could they do? That's what the mayor said to do. Is a Jew, a court Jew. What can he do? So the Eibishter makes that those that have betochin in the Eibishter, that they're safe, that the Shevet Haresha will never be over them. And therefore the Eibishter makes it. The Eibishter makes that should only be good for them. They should never have to be under the dominion of Rishonim. And the Eibishter makes that the Hamativim HaKalkaloisum, V'Hamatim HaKalkaloisum, and the Eibishter makes those that are krum, those are mata to kilkul, to krum, Yerlichem as Hashem is poiler heaven. They go with the koiler oven, but the Yidden shalom al Yisrael. Okay, first let's do a few nakudas from the kapitel today. Let's start with the first nakuda, which is bitochen. Bitochen is a very, very important sugya, and befrat by Chassidim, bitochen is a very strong nakuda. How does a Yid have bitochen? The idea of bitochen is that it's for sure going to be good. Not the pshat is that gamzu latoiva kol ma'adav derachmon latav ovid, That we say afterwards. Before, say it's gonna be good. Like the Rebbe used to say, Betoiv Hanira Hanigla. It's gonna be good. So Harayit says,
what's the difference between Nira and Nigla?
huh?
What is the difference? Are they both one and the same? What's seen and what's being
For the Yid and for his wife. It's Nira and Nigla. For everyone, it's Nira and it's Nigla. So Bozamaton, person is cynical. He's already 60 years old. He's 69 years old. Etching Avel. He had so many times betochen, and he got betochen, and things didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. And he becomes a pessimist. He becomes a pessimist. I used to have an old Yid in our shul who was a professor. He said, there's Murphy's Law. What's Murphy's Law? That everything that could go wrong will go wrong in the worst possible time. Then there's Jones's law. Jones's law says that Murphy was an optimist. This is Ayid. Wow. So, Chigazena Welt has been around. Yeah, betochen, but so how does Ayid have the koyach to stand up and say, no, the Eibishter is going to make it good for me? There's two parts of the neshama. There's the part in the neshama called Yerushalayim and called Zion. The Reb Shimon Bechai says in the Zohar, "Ano Simona Ba'alma." I'm nothing. So you see the sign Avenue J? That's what I am. Kingston Avenue? That's me. Coney Island Avenue? That's me. I'm a sign. I'm a Simona Ba'alma. Ich bin garnished. I'm only a Simon zum Eibischen. Every Yid has that in his neshama. There's the Chassidus says Yerushalayim is the Chitzonius. It's Take Yerushalayim, it's Yerushalayim. It's in the crust. The inside, Ayid is Simona Ba'alma. There's nothing. He's a simon to the Eibishter. So the Rebbe said that the pshat is when Ayid taps into the part of the neshama, which is Tzion, so then he can have betoch. Then he can have betoch. Then his unmovable betoch. In order to be Shira Malas, Zingen, to sing, and to be going up on the Milas and the steps, just like the Levim in the Beis Hamikdash. That has to be from the koyach of tzion. When a person taps into the neshama tzion, he's like a har, he's like a mountain. You can't move him. And then he has the koyach of bitachon. So that's what we need. We need to have this unbelievable. And this, I see that there's something unbelievable. Bavach Chassidim are saying this kapitel Tehillim for a whole year, which is associated with the Rebbe. According to the minig, the Baal Shem Tov, who said it's a minig atik. But I see every year. I'll give you an example. I remember many years ago, I was thinking, Kufyu tests, a very long kapitel. Kufyu test. Whoa. It takes, if you speed, if you say Ashra Yoshve, you're like, so if you speed and you're going 98 miles per hour and you say Ashra in a minute, Kufyu test will take you 6-7 minutes, right? So what's gonna be? What's gonna be? I remember I was talking about it here 5-6 years before we got the Kufyu test. I said, "Oh, now we're saying the Halal, all short kapitlach. What's gonna be?" You know what happened? Mm-hmm. That year was COVID. Wow. That year was COVID. That year.
There was a big rabbi that said, not long. He said, if you say Kufyu test every day, you won't die from COVID.
That year was COVID. Everyone at the get zok, Kufyu test. It was so geschmack to get into Kufyu test. Lulei teroscha shashuye ozavadati beyoni. Just without Torah being shashuyim for a yid, we would be like all those goyim fadreit. It was really, it spoke every kapitel. I feel like every year the kapitel speaks to us so much. We really need a lot of midas habitochen right now. We really need a lot of midas habitochen right now, and we really need a special koyach that it should be leman lo yanuach shevet haresh lagoyel tzadikim. That the Rishoyim shouldn't have dominion in this world. It's not. You think the news makes it tahin ahead. You go, it's time you follow the regular news. Trump's war. What's that Trump's war? It's not Trump's war. There's China. there is Russia. There's a lot of bad players, and everyone's eyes on the arena. And the Sachikuno and the Orim Lafanenu, they're looking at now, and it's an epic struggle. It's a real big thing, and we're hoping that it shouldn't be that Yanuach Shevet Haresh Lagor Tzadikim, that the Rishonim shouldn't have dominion in this world, and that for that we have to have bitochen. We have to have bitochen. So l'chaim. See, the Eibush is make unbelievable nisim for Yidden. We have to have bitochen, and that's it's not easy, but we have to tap into the heart scene in the neshama. Maybe shall make it that it should be toiv, it should be nidav and nikla, that lechobnei Yisrael, it should be orba mashroisam. L'chaim. Eliata, eyoidekon, loikaya, memekon, keiliata, eyoidekon, L'chaim. So that's why bringing my children tonight. I asked everyone if they're Mora, and so the Mora is saying, "Oh, what? Shkaya, Shkaya, here." Mitzrayim geyato, v'beis avodim v'rishon. Hey, Mitzrayim geyato, v'beis avodim v'rishon, v'Mitzrayim. Hey, Mitzrayim geyato. Somebody Medicine. Hey, Mitzrayim geyaton, somebody Medicine, Mitzrayim. Hey, Mitzrayim geyaton, somebody Medicine. Hey, Mitzrayim geyaton, somebody Medicine, Mitzrayim. 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 Allah has come and come out, they were full of Maleno. Allah has come and come out, they were full of Maleno. Shaitziano, Mitzrayim. Shaitziano, Mitzrayim. Shaitziano, Mitzrayim. Shaitziano, Mitzrayim.
So what bracha do you make on this? There's so many brachas. Do you make
Make
each
a
one
eight, yeah.
or
Yeah, yeah.
each one?
Eight. You can make a eight.
Well, McDonald's I make on the right, and then am I take to everything? Or should I better
If you make,
do you make any?
no, you make a eight. If you make mazanas and rice, make mazanas.
I make yeah, and that's it.
That's it. Okay.
What about everything inside?
That's it. There's eights and there's nothing else.
Okay, so
Oh, Shahan.
chocolate. Does everybody make chocolate?
I don't see it. What do you have to do with it?
The avocado.
Avocado's eight.
Hey,
I don't see. He makes mazanas and rice.
look at that, and I'm not for them, but him and it's not.
Amen. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
I think you need a fork. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, yeah, da da. Yeah, na 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 na. Yeah, da da. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, da. Yeah, da da. Yeah, you said slide down. Oh, yeah, na 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 na. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. La, 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 la. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, my dog. Oh, you know, you know. Yes, I'm just oh, my know. Oh, yeah, no, no, no. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. So tonight I was bringing my children. One of my kids said that Maura said in the last day of school that her father learned many years ago in Lubavitch Yeshiva, and there was a boy in the class that in the high school it's Chozge, and he went up the derech, and they said a story that the boy's father came to the Rebbe in Yechidus, said, I sent my kid to Lubavitch, and he went off the derech. He said, at least, could you have him in your tefillas, Lizman, Lizman? So the Rebbe said, your Yossi is in my tefillas all the time. Okay. So he said that he met this guy after 50 years. He met him at he met his friend Yossi, who went off the derech. Everyone said that the Rebbe told his father. The father said, can you have him in the tefillas sometime? And he said, so he was the Frum friend met the Friar friend 50 years later now. He's Frum. So he asked him if the story is true. He said, yes, the story is true. And he said that he was living in an apartment with a couple of guys. They're all not religious. And he once, it was at night, he was traveling. It was raining. It was a glitch. It was a mountain. I remember the details. It was an accident. And he came home, it was already midnight in his apartment. And he was like shaking. It was lucky to go out alive. And this friend said, his friend said that 2 hours ago we get a call. Rabbi Groner is asking how you're doing. The Lubavitch Rebbe asked you should call to find out how you're doing. Did you call back? Rabbi Groner said as soon as you get to the apartment, he wants a phone call from you. Lubavitch Rebbe wants to know how you're doing. And he called back. He didn't know how he was doing, but he was saved in an accident. And he's geworden a fromme Yid. So
the Rebbe asking him how
yeah,
you doing.
yeah. So we were learning Shabbos. The Rebbe big koch, and the Maimah was that the name Agod is because the pasuk says Vigada Telabin. And but if you look really in the Rashi and Chazal, what's Vigada Telabincha? Vigada Telabincha is talking about the Ben She'eni Yodei Elishu. The Ben She'eni Yodei Elishu. And there's a lot of Agmas Nefesh. That's what we say At Psachloi. Toshus Koiche Kenekeva, the father and mother, when they have a son like this, they have unbelievable Agmas Nefesh. Unbelievable Agmas Nefesh. The mamish is the kishkis to take away every last ounce of your koiches. Kids like this. So the Rebbe said that the lesson that God is Amina. He's the last. He's talking the last kid on the list. He's talking the last. But Lapoil, Apsachloi, and not only that you have to put in so much energy in this kid that we say that the whole Haggadah is called Vigada Telabincha Haggadah. I'll shame this one, because when you pick up this kid, you pick up all your kids. And the Rebbe's whole thing in the Maimah was that really, if you look at the pasuk of what we're talking to the Sheni Day Lishul, is really an answer to the Chochem. So we're telling the Chochem that we're telling the parents that really the answer to the Ben Chochem will come through dealing with the Ben, which is Sheni Day Lishul. So this is a big, before Pesach, a few days before Pesach, still a couple of matzahs left here, a couple of flyers, but this is the big thing to try to influence another Yid to have matzahs, to eat the kazayis matzahs that are kosher la Pesach, and it's upit in Pesach, and to sell their chametz, which are the whole all edus chukim mishpat on Pesach is hard. To convince a Yid that the night of Pesach, after dark, that he should eat kazayis matzah, it's easier. But people have a seder. But just that they should be aware that it has to be at night, and they have to eat a kazayis matzah, and then you give them in their hand a kazayis matzah. The Rebbe had a big cover. It's michla de memenusa. Dafkit should be hand matzah. Dafkit should be round matzah, because that's where the emunah gets. That's where the emunah gets into a yid. I think I mentioned the Shabbos. We were looking for Beis Menachem Mendel. So I met someone. We're looking for our Kodesh furniture. So a guy said he has a shop. I said, let me go see his shop. I was anyway in by the oil, and I called him up. I said, Avi, where are you? He says, my shop is in Valley Stream. I said, okay, can I come by? He said, yeah, sure, you can come by. So I came by. I said, it's a shop. Okay. Pictures of galleries he did. Very nice. And then I want to put on film. He wants, put on film. And you're gonna have a seder. You're gonna have a seder. If I give you a pound of shmura matzah, you'll use it. Yeah, sure, I'll use it. Okay, give him a pound of shmura matzah. As we're leaving, he tells my wife, 1990, I waited for 3 hours to get $1 from Lubavitch Rebbe, and I still have that dollar till today. And your husband, he looks just like Lubavitch Rebbe. So you know what? So if you give a yid a matzah and you smile at them, and you experience with them, it's nothing complicated. It's a yid. So me, you, everyone here, we could all do it.
The whole first $100 is supposed to give to tzedakah.
Right? He probably gave.
So,
yeah,
$20 bill from 85.
yeah, $20 bill.
85.
Wow, that's very special.
How do you got it?
How'd you get it?
I got it through someone actually.
Very nice. Chaim l'chaim. So you see a lot of brachas flowing through it. Chaim l'chaim l'chaim. The Schutzim Hashem have taken care of every child including that child that's Sheini de Elishal, and including the child that the Rebbe said, the fifth child, which Nebuchadnezzar not even sitting at the table, that the mitzvah Shem is chus of taking care of the fifth child, we should be zeichet to drink from the fifth kois, the kois of Shalom Yoanav.
Amen. Amen.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
Like to be doing that.
Oh, yeah, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I let it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I let it. I let it. Usually, Siddur, we say that the shomer has to be stronger than the nishma. If the shomer has to be stronger, right? So otherwise, mitzvah is that a shomer. But so usually you think, okay, so you have a chayde, and the whole chayde yingla, right? Little boys are learning Tanakh Shabbos and album with first grade with the Rebbe, Malanen, Fleiset, Malanen Geschmack. Okay, but we need to have today a guard by the door. Schwarze, grüne, gela, goise, goy. So begashmis is starke with the kleine kinderlach. That's why with them gestalt mit abix. That's why they have him standing with a gun at the door. But that's it. He's bigger. His body's bigger. But in kedusha, what do you mean? If you're saying something's bigger, something's protecting something else, his body's bigger. What do you mean his body? Which body? We're talking about Ruknias. So when we're saying that something is protecting something else, it has to be that there's be'etzem, there's an inyan. It has to be that there's an inyan over here. That there is a strong person that's protecting the weak. Here we say that Yerushalayim is Horim Sovev Law. So what's the pshat? The first pshat is that if you want to conquer Yerushalayim, David the Melech picked it with unbelievable strategy. Why? Because it's a city that's protected with a lot of Horim. So for the enemies to ever get there, it was very hard. Yudua, the Romans didn't have an easy time conquering Yerushalayim. Besides the fact that Yerushalayim had a Chayma, Betzuda, v'chulu, there's a lot of Horim Sovid, and it's not easy to get there, especially if someone doesn't know the terrain. They could be ambushing the enemy from all sides. So therefore, it's a good city. It was a good city. David the Melech thought that this was a great. Obviously, this was really turns out this was the place that the Eibishter always intended. But that's a pshat that the Yidden trust in the Eibishter, that the Eibishter protects them just like there's Horim Sovev Lo, Hashem Sovev Lo, there's the Horim around it, there's the Eibishter around it. When you're saying the Eibishter is protecting the Beis Hamikdash, but what does it mean that the Horim are protecting the Beruchnius? What does it mean? The Shomer has to be bigger than the Nishma. So how could you say that the mountains around Yerushalayim, which the Kedusha is obviously less than if you say again, Begashmis, you have a big fat goy with a big fat gun, and Begashmis is stronger than the Chayde Englach. I understand. But Beruchnius, you want to say that the protection of Yerushalayim, if you say Begashmis, it's very hard to get the jeeps and to get the tanks on there, and therefore that Israel had a very hard time conquering Yerushalayim because of that reason. It's very hard for a foreign invader to come in. But Beruchni is, how could you say that the Horim are greater than the Yerushalayim itself? The Rebbe has a biur nifla. The Rebbe has a biur nifla on this. The Rebbe says that what's Yerushalayim? Yerushalayim is Yiddish Shalom, Yiddish Shemayim. Right? We spoke about before what Zion means. Now, what's Yerushalayim? Yerushalayim means Yiddish Shalom. Yerushalayim Shemaylish, Yerushalayim Shamata. There's all levels in Yiddish. Why was the base of Mikdash built dafke from a doimim? We know that there's a maimer in Vayigash, a beautiful maimer that the Mishkan was doimim tzameach ha'im and damen. But the base of Mikdash was only built out of rock because the highest netzutis goes in the lowest place. So dafke, the base of Mikdash has to be built dafke from rock and not allowed to kodesh. Was hechmitz was a bad thing that he said that they have to build. They have to build the Beis Hamikdash and they have to build it with wood. It was a terrible thing. So what's the Indian Avodas Hashem? What is the Indian Avodas Hashem? Is that there is a Pashta Yiddish Shemayim. What's a Pashta Yiddish Shemayim? I'm not in the mood. I'm not interested. Be'emes not in the mood. Be'emes not interested. But I forced myself to do it. As over the Moed Ani and the Yid and the Free. He didn't learn yet. It's nicht misboinen given. They never had a big koch. The Moide Ani is the tayeste Zach. All Gufa, where does it come that he has the koyach take to push himself to do the right thing when then stakenat so in Yerushalayim itself, leaders, when he sees kedusha, there's an unbelievable battle to the Eibishter. But when there's this horim soviv, those horim, they don't have that gilui that's in the. So that is a lower darge. There was a very much lower darge in Yiddish Shemayim. But dafka, that's the protection. That's the protection of Avodas Hashem. Dafka, this darge of Yiddish Shemayim, nicht the größer darge in Yiddish Shemayim. Dafka, the Poshta Moida Ani, dafka, the simple Yiddish Shemayim. That is the protection that has a koyach for the shomer to the nishma. And that's a pshat in Avodas Hashem, that Yerushalayim horim sovev lo. That Yid, the same thing, it's a moshel and nimshel, right? We said that just like the Yerushalayim is protection by horim, of the Eibishter, the B'teich of Hashem, the Eibishter protects him. So Ibazoi, the Zabazach over here, that the moshel and the nimshel is that the Afke, the Poshta Yid Shemayim, not the Moiridik Groisel Dargis near Shemayim, that's what protects us. And that says that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he looked at all the generations, Chassidus says that Moshe Rabbeinu had unbelievable jealousy from the Dor. As like Chassidus, it's not a medish. Chassidus said, how does Chassidus know? It's not what they know. That Moshe Rabbeinu looked, and he looked at all generations from Har Nevoy, and he saw that before Mashiach comes, there's going to be unbelievable Messiahness, crazy Messiahness, and he was jealous of the koyach of the Avodas Hashem of those Yid. So I'm afraid of what is it to be jealous? He was jealous of me, jealous of you. Who is he jealous of? So the Elamai, because there's something special in this Poshta Yiddish Shemayim. So l'chaim, Maybe Shalhofen, the Taka, we should go in, the Mitzvah Hashem, the Rebbe's Haggadah says that the Friedrich Rebbe was a child. His father told him that the gates in heaven are open the night of the Seder. Nish bet gatshmi bet uchnis. At the moment, every moment is so precious. Don't just use it. Befrat based psichos adelas. When Eliyahu Navi comes, there's a story. I just want to finish off with this word. That there's a story from the Chofetz Chaim. Chofetz Chaim would say that there was once the Kehila came to the Beis Halevi. I forget which Kehila. One of the big Kehilas in Europe, and they wanted him to be a rock. He wasn't interested. And Abonim Amol, they were not looking for the big shtela. They were looking for the small place where they could hide, they could sit and learn. And they didn't look for the big shtela. It was the other way around. Today everything is Olam Hafach. They were not looking, they were not looking to advance their career. A lot of these Gedolei Yisrael that we know that were Rabbanim, first of all, were tiny towns. We don't even know where they are today. And those that weren't big, Duk V'Tishkach, if you look very closely, they were forced. Kehilas came and begged them, and they said, please. And sometimes the Dachkus Nishtem was also, they went to the Rebbetzin, and so they made it happen. So they came to the Beis Halevi, and he wasn't interested. So they went to his wife. So they went back to the base of Levi and they said, 25.000 Jiden lerzen und beten that there soll's coming. They're like polishing and they want you should come. So he said to his Mebais, bring me whatever's hat, his Hamburg, whatever he wasn't wearing a Hamburg, but whatever he was wearing. Bring me my Hamburg, that's it. 25,000 Eden are waiting for me. I gotta go. It's not this. I can't refuse them. So they told the story to Chofetz Chaim, and he said, such a beautiful story. If Melech HaMashiach would know that there is 1,000,000 Yid waiting for him, he wouldn't be able to hold himself back. He would grab his Hamburg right away, put it on him. So Elamai, we have to let him know. We got to let him know that we're waiting for him. So maybe shall helfen take that that we should ask, that we should have a gula protis and our avodas Hashem, and Klal Yisrael should have a gula flawless for this golus. Should be zoicha take, should be b'shem neichel min azvochim min absach. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
Somo lecho
Nashim, Toma lecho, Somo. Oh, I can it's not in I can God it's I can see so it's all why didn't go I he Go, Polana, voice, you know what we're down. Share up. I don't lay no the family say no. And I should have heard in the day, by name of no the father say. Ah, God, there's God, I see they no bleeding. I am I should have come. I'm there, baby. I'm there. Well, I need to say. I should have come. There, I know that's what I say. I need my lady. I need my lady. That's what I say. Oh, the heart is low. I'm seeing they know beyond. Hey, God is on his throne. Right. Okay. Climb down the Farbrengen. So as I said in the beginning of the Farbrengen, I see mamish that the capital this year is sugepasst to the situation. Maybe shall helfen that there is a shevet haresh world, and it's a big question mark. There is a lot of rishoyim. It's not just like I said. It's not just Iran. There's Iran. There's China. There's a whole bunch of nasty players, rishoyim, and they're looking what's going on. And so there's Bemis two pshotim. There's Rashi and the Radak. Rashi says we don't want the rishoyim to have the upper hand. Why? Because if they have the upper hand, the Laman, if the Shoim have dominion, then Nebuch the Tzaddikim, the Jew, the court Jew, but it has to be Yishluchu Bavlos Yadeh. Because who's in charge? Mayor Mamdani is in charge. That was only a marshal. I didn't mean anything. So that so that I just said I'm marshal. So but the emphasis that Radak says another pshat. That Radak says more Rashi wants to pshat. That Radak says as long as there is a shoym around. So what's the problem today with the chinuch of the children? Where's that piece? Where's that plastic piece? Is that and through this plastic piece, Zetman alle goyim and alle goyishkeit from the Welt. So what's the eitzah? You have to get rid of the Rishon. What's the eitzah? That's what the Radak says. So according to Rashi, you just have to make sure that the Rishem don't have dominion. According to the Radak, it's more. You have to make sure that the Rishem are not around anymore. That's not around. But we spoke about this when the Tzemach Tzedek Shabbos, that there is two opinions. What's going to be with the Chayes Ros? Either Mashbisam Mavida min Oilam, or Mashbisam Shelo Yoziku. Either we're going to burn them or we're going to convert them. We're going to turn them around. And the Tzemach Tzedek says that the higher level is that we turn them around. So the Eibishal Halfen Taka that the Koiches Haresha, that not only that the Koiches Haresha will not be there in order Rachmon Litzlan to hurt the Yidden, the Koiches Haresha will be there to protect the Yidden. And that there should be a sapcha, and on avodas Hashem also that we should matzliach to do is sapcha, which that's the Rebbe's big koch. That's the Neis Godel, that's Shabbos HaGodel, that we should do a sapcha and on avodas Hashem. The midas shliliyos, the bad midas, which Musa says we got to eradicate. Well, Chassidus says that some of these bad midas are really, if we could just turn them around, Yetzirah Shamash Godel hoy, with Noach Shamash Godel hoy. We can just turn them around. It's going to be unbelievable. Kazana groise shamish. So David shall help from the taka. Every one of us, we should be zech to have a nice godel. Klal Yisrael should have a nice godel. Ulam mitzvah shleima. Amen. Yeah. Sure, Hashem. Yeah. Chaim l'chaim. Hey, you want to do the Chinuch Chometz? Yeah, we're davening mind if anyone wants to do the Chinuch Chometz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,